Check 1 2 1 2. Okay, so in the last video we did some eyes, so now for this video I'm going to show you some faces and how I do face shapes. I cannot speak. What am I doing? Okay. So I'm going to use these same faces that I have before because I have them all ready to go. Okay, so I'm just gonna separate these out a little bit so we have some space. And I'm not sure what kind of faces I'm gonna do, and I may need to kind of do them a couple times because I don't always get it perfect. Human face shapes are not the easiest for me, so I work at it and I practice. And hopefully, maybe some of the mistakes I make, you might make as well. So hopefully this will help. Okay, so let's do some face shapes. So this is usually the first part that I start with, and this is the base. Now here we have a nose, so I usually do some sort of diamond shape, and I kind of let that be the blueprint of the nose, because I can do a big nose and a big diamond shape. You know, you could also do like a round nose, some nostrils. So there's a lot of options. You can do a little cute like button nose. Just like a little diamond. So there's lots of places to go with the nose. But to keep this simple, usually I have lines coming down like this, and then the face is going to come over this way. And again, there's lots of variations in how you can make the face shape, but essentially you just want to keep the line straight coming down here and then come in for the chin. And you can make these longer. You can make this part longer if you want, and then make it come in. You can kind of make it bow a little bit and then come in. So that's where the whole shape thing comes into it. That's a little bit of a forehead up here. You can even do a square for the nose. And you do the little nostrils. And you can do the mouth. I like to do the upper lip dark. You know, something like that. Keep the ears low underneath the eyes. Actually, I kind of like that nose. I kind of like this square nose. And this would go all the way up to the eyebrows. Let's do some nice bushy eyebrows. So something like that. And you can see it's not perfectly straight, but it doesn't always have to be perfectly straight. Let's see if I can fix it and make it straighter. Oh, that looks pretty good. And I just use the selection tool to adjust. There we go. That looks a lot better. Just use you just use the tools you have. If you want to change something, like for example, this eye is a little high in comparison to the other eye, you can just select it and kind of bring it down so it's nice in line and even with the other eye. Then you can just polish this up. So it's not a bad face shape. Just normal. Maybe the next video we'll do hair. Okay, so what is she? I feel like this is a she. So what does she look like? So I'm not going to make her face as round, but we're going to do the same. Just make the forehead here. So we'll kind of just expand this circle a little bit. So we'll do the same sort of thing. We'll make it very kind of sleek. Like so. So pretty much straight. This I did sort of bend in a little bit, and then I started going straight down, whereas this is more straight down. And it's only because I feel like she's slightly turned a little bit. And if she was turned a little bit more, then it would be a little bit more of a something like that. But it's not, so this part is a little bit less. This part right here. So for her nose, I'm going to take this straight. Obviously, I'm just doing this so you can see this really dark line. But this is the center line. And I want her nose to be right here. So you can make a diamond. And you can add the nostrils in. That's usually how I do it. And then I can just round that off. And I can just erase everything. If you want to see what it looks like, you can just erase your lines, or erase your sketch lines. And don't ever forget that when you're sketching and things like that, it's going to look different when you erase the sketch lines. So sometimes things can look really bad, but then you erase the sketch line and they actually look okay. So I'm just going to make one line from this, like that. I think that looks pretty good. I'm just going to darken up the line under the eye. And for her expression, I feel like we'll put her lips a little bit over, kind of like a scowl, but then a little bit of a smirk at the end. And then we'll give her a nice lip here. So something like that. And another little trick for this outer part of the lip, you can see I made that really dark. I can make this one a little bit dark too, and then do a little bit of a darkness here. That's just a little trick that I do. It sort of gives the lips a little more depth. And the nose to be a tad smaller. That's good. And I also, another thing that's important about noses is they shouldn't be too beefy, unless the nose is actually looks really beefy, like that's part of the character. Because the nose is just, there's no real hard lines in a nose. You know what I mean? There's no real hard lines. You know, there's the dark spot where the nostrils are, but that's about it. So even if you were to make it a little bit lighter, like let me take my brush that's at 30% for the eraser and just lighten the nose up. Like that's fine. The nose doesn't have to be as dark as all the rest of these. The only thing that needs to be dark is, you know, maybe this nostril, maybe the nostril bit can be a little darker. The rest, don't go too crazy with the nose. Don't add too much, because then it's just gonna look weird. Okay, so for her ears, we'll give her slightly smaller ears. Actually, I feel like I kind of like some bigger ears. And ears, I'll just do a quick ear just because I know I'm sort of flying through ears. But So you have the side of the head, the eyes here, and I usually make the ear a little bit lower than like the center of the eye. So all I'm doing for the ears, you can do ear like this, then I make a little mark like that, and then I go something like that, or I make the square bit, and then same, just that in the middle and that right there. There's lots of places you can go with ears. You can kind of do that. You can go like this. It's a little more sophisticated. You know, you can add that other ear thingy in there. There's lots of places you can go with ears. And it's the same thing when I do like animals. I just go like this, and then I do that little flippy thing, and then I just add the little hairs. That's what I do with animals. But anyway, this is a pretty good face for her, I think. Okay. Also, if you want to help me out, if you want to support, like and subscribe. Maybe turn notifications on. It really helps me when you like and subscribe to the video. It helps me out, so I appreciate the support. Okay, so what's this? I feel like, let's see, what mouth do we want? For this one, I'm going to use the mouth to sort of figure out what type of shape face I want. So I feel like it's something like this. Maybe even doesn't even need a... something like this. I feel like we'll put little teeth. Make the inside of the mouth darker. Alright, so for this one I'm not going to use... so I have the eyebrows really high up here. So let's just go with that. So we'll sort of frame out our eyes like so. We'll make the little I feel like he would have like lines here or something. I feel like he would have a butterfly or something on his head, or something that he's like looking up at. Okay, so one trick that I have to use sometimes is this whole thing is like a muzzle. So that can tell me where his chin is. So I'm going to kind of go down, and then I'm just going to make it like straight. So I'll do the ears kind of like we just did them down there. I'll do a different kind of ear. Maybe I want to make him, yeah, I kind of like that a little bit better. Maybe not so much of a chin poking out, but just a sort of a round bottom here. A round bottom. Bring the mouth up. Maybe I'll make the mouth a little bit bigger. How's that look? We'll do something a little bit different here. Let's see. So let's go with a shape. So we can go with a shape like that. We can go with a more round shape, but that's a little bit odd. Go with something like that. That's actually not bad. It's just kind of a normal. But we didn't really do his nose. What if we give him like a... That really changes things up. The nose is a real game changer. So let's see. Let's make the mouth lower. And yeah, let's make the nose like this. Something like that. Let's see if we want to put some lips on his mouth like that. I don't know. I don't usually put lips on a mouth like that, but that actually looks okay. So it's kind of just like a round shape. That actually looks okay. I'll give him some really big ears. Give him some really big ears here. You can do some big hair or something like that. Okay, let's move him right along. So let's try to do something different with this face. Let's see, what kind of nose do we want? So we got a weird shaped nose, nostrils. Maybe let's do, I feel like a mustache. So if I'm gonna do a mustache, let's do a thin face. Or do we want to do a fat face? No, we'll give this one a more chubby face. Okay, let's see. What do we want to do here? So let's make the cheekbones sort of come out. But then let's make it really thin through here. This is where the mouth would be. Something like that. Just nice and thin. And how about like let's do like a mustache. So we got a mustache here. Let me move this. Oh, what happened to my tools? Let me move this face over. Okay, so we got a mustache here. I don't really do a lot of mustaches. So we'll do some teeth, and then we'll color in the mouth. Like so. That's actually not bad. And up here would be the forehead. Ears would be probably around here. Give them some different kind of ears. It's not bad. And last but not least, let's make a nice like chubby face. So let's see. So again, I'm going to use this to sort of frame out, because the face is a little bit tilted, so I'm going to use this. Then I'm going to go over. Okay, so now we'll just do a nice round. And maybe we'll put some lips in. Put some lips in. I went a little too, see, this would happen when I go a little too detailed. I'm going to try the lips again, but I'm going to try to do it more using less details and just more shapes. And that looks a lot better. We'll do a little chin. I want to make it round. A little bit of a something there. And then nice and round on the other side too. And actually, I can probably move this eye over, because since the face is so wide, this might look good. Yeah, if I make that a little bit wider. And here we go, the nice forehead is here. Ears, small ears here. And then the head would be off. You know, the head would be off there. But all this, you know, it takes some work to really get right and to really figure out what looks best. I'm always experimenting. Like, I just experimented shaving off that chin at the bottom. And I just think it looks a bit better when it's not so pronounced. But I really want to keep just this round, nice round shape. Just want to keep that simple. The ear shouldn't be, well, I guess it can be. And actually this eye is a little bit tilted, a little bit high. So I'm just going to tilt it down, bring it so it's level. That's a bit better. Make the lip a little bit darker. You can also just make your brush a little bit. Oops. Lower the opacity. Make sure I'm on the right brush. Shadow 30. And lower the opacity a little bit more. This bit would be dark. So when I'm actually making things, I don't have these lines here. I don't have these side lines and this line coming down. I just make all of this darker. It's like even under the nose would be darker. This would always be a little bit darker. And it really gives a lot of dimension to your work. Even this little bit inside the ears. It's always a little bit darker. And we'll do this. We'll just do that with all of them. It really just changes the look of things. But that's pretty much how I do faces. And if I'm doing a character, then I just try to do that same face. I try to use those same shapes. I may start out with the same eyes, then start out with the same nose. And as long as I use the same nose, everything else will sort of fall into place. But I'll also refer back to these images because it's easy to forget little things that you do. And it's also good that I record things, because if I need to know, oh, how did I draw these characters, then I can look back and say, oh, okay, I drew this eye section first, and then I drew the eyes, and then I drew the nose, or then I drew the mouth, because sometimes the order changes depending on the characters or what I'm drawing, things like that. So that's pretty much how I draw faces. I mean, they're just kind of shapes. You just have to have something here for the cheekbones, and then figure out, do you want a slim face or a rounder face, or a more traditional face, or a long face. things like that. But again, just work at it, practice eyes, practice face shapes, and you'll continue to grow and get better. Hopefully that was helpful. And as always, keep drawing, and I'll see you in the next video.